Welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and I am doing a know by year. Today I wanted to talk about my top 5 blushes for achieving that sunburnt look without actually having to deal with a sunburn. So for me, the colors that tend to make it look the most natural in faking a sunburn can be a little bit on the red side and then leaning a little bit more terracotta, so like the ruddy reds. And I have 5 different blushes in front of me. They're all different formulas and they're my top 5 for achieving this look. So I'll start with the one on the red side of the spectrum, and it's the Rituel De Fille Color Nectar Pigment Balm in the shade Bloodflower. So this is like the brightest of reds for me anyways. And the key with this especially is keeping it placed quite high on my cheeks and using a very light hand. I really like this formula because it has a bit of a translucency to it. So if I've gone quite light on my base makeup, when I put this on, my freckles still kind of show through, which is another way of keeping it looking quite natural. So Bloodflower by Rituel De Fille, definitely one of my favorites. Okay, the second one that is a little bit more on the reddy pink side is this Smashbox Halo Sheer to Stay color tint. It's meant for It's meant for lip and cheek, but generally I only ever wear it on my cheeks. So it's a little bit of a thicker formula. It's not liquid. It's a little bit creamy, but not like a whipped cream. But it's that second one in. So it has, depending on how like heavy-handed you go with it, it has a little bit thicker of a consistency. What I really like about this formula is that it's a tint. So even if like the initial glossiness of it on your cheeks has faded, the color sticks around. Next up is this Nudies Matte all over bronze color in the shade Sunkissed. This is actually part of like the bronzer line. So this is starting to lean a little bit more on the terracotta side. And this is kind of really good for not an initial sunburnt look, but more of like you got sunburned 2 or 3 days ago and it's starting to fade. Because it is leaning a little bit more on the bronzy side of things, but I still really love this for achieving the look that I'm going for. Next up is this Merit Flush Balm in the shade Fox. This too is leaning on the terracotta side. What I really love about the formula of the Merit is that it's quite similar to the Rituel De Fille in that it leans a little bit more on the translucent side. So when I put it on, as long as I haven't gone too heavy with my base makeup, you can still see my freckles show through, which again makes it really natural looking. Alright, and my all-time favorite blush to achieve the sunburnt look and in my favorite blush formula is the Phytosurgence in the shade Inferno. This is the perfect terracotta leaning on red. And I love the formula of this. It's so pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way. So that's a pretty like heavy swatch. But as you start to sheer it out, it's also quite similar to that Sunkissed shade, but I love this formula so much. And it's just like the perfect shade and just gives a really healthy sunburn glow to the face. All-time favorite. This is also what prompted me to think about like the concept for this video is me and the sun kind of don't get along. I'm very pale I never really tan. I feel like I used to tan as a kid, but now as an adult, if I'm outside for even a short amount of time, I kind of just get red. My cheeks always live in a constant state of redness. So I'm not outside a lot, but I like to look like I've been outside a lot. So for the last couple years, this has been my go-to for achieving the I've just spent a few days outside in the sun, look at me. This is also what I have on my cheeks today. I did a video of me doing this look. Don't know if it'll be out before or after this one. We'll see where it falls in my editing line type of thing. Alright, so those are my top 5 blushes for achieving the perfect sunburnt look without actually getting sunburnt. I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully it gives you a little bit of inspiration to look in your collection to see if you have some colors that can achieve this look for you. Again, it's going to be dependent on your skin tone, sort of what color you naturally turn in the sun. Maybe you don't sunburn at all, and so maybe having a sunburn on your face might not actually look all that natural. But for the most part, staying with those terracottas, like ruddy reds, ruddy browns, and even into some like brighter reds, those are the colors to be looking for. And being sure to place it pretty high on your cheeks, and don't forget like the bridge of the nose, and bringing it up onto your forehead. Those are the key placements when you're wanting to create the look of getting a sunburn. You want to put it in the places where you would naturally get that sunburn. Thanks for watching. That's all I've got for you today. Have a good one. Bye.